Nerds and geeks used to be derogatory terms reserved for the smart ones in a community or in a school. They were supposed to be these black rimmed glasses wearing lanky people with zero social skills and no athletic DNA. But on the other side of the earth, the East, smart ones aren't laughed at. They were actually hated because their sheer existence, apparently, is an insult to dumb people. Recently, however, dumb people found a way to level the playing field. Hi! If you do end up liking this video, please consider giving it a like. Also, subscribe and hit that notification button so that you know when there's a new video getting published. More importantly, share if you can, please. It's really helping my channel. Okay, smart shaming. What is smart shaming? So we are all starting in the same spot. Smart shaming is the act of mocking someone for being smarter than others or for saying or doing something that is perceived to be a smart act. Smart shaming is also called anti-intellectualism. We may have witnessed this or even experienced it as a child. In the Philippines, expressions like "Oo na, matalino ka na" or "Edi wow, bobo na ako, ikaw na matalino" are often used as a response or insult to people talking smart or doing something smart. This culture was actually immortalized in a popular Philippine movie, Four Sisters and a Wedding. Being smart is an insult to the general public. Being smart or saying something smart is hated because it is supposedly insulting to people who aren't so smart. It makes people feel inadequate. Since being smart is widely believed to be an inborn trait, demonstrating how knowledgeable you are in a certain subject is one way of belittling people for something they have no control over. It is perceived to be unfair because you're using something they will never have. So I'm really curious. Do you think there are people who were born intellectually gifted and then there are people who, no matter the effort that they put into it, will never be as smart as those who were born intellectually gifted? And do you think there are people who have limits when it comes to their ability to think critically? And then there are people who can just process and untangle all the complicated concepts and different schools of thought. The importance of getting along or social conformity. In many Asian countries, getting along with other people is the most important thing. In some countries, it emanates from their religion. Confucian teaching emphasizes the importance of social harmony and the role of individuals in maintaining it. They believe that a peaceful community is important to live a peaceful and safe life. So if the whole community feels safe and is at peace and prosperous, then you will have a happy and safe environment. In the Philippines, it comes from a Filipino trait we call pakikisama or social conformity towards unity. Dr. Virgilio Enriquez, a social psychologist and arguably the father of Filipino psychology, said that for Filipinos, the ability to get along with others is the most important thing. Standing out is not necessarily a good thing. We put importance in things like conformity, empathy, and social relationships. The advantage of this is that literally and figuratively, no one's left behind. On the other hand, it signals a general distaste for someone for being different, or in this case, a disregard for elitism and individualism traits typically associated with those of higher education. This leads me to the next point: protest against social disparity. Education is associated with privilege of having an education, which a lot of poor people can't afford. This leads to a feeling of bitterness, contempt, envy, and hate, with poverty enveloping everyday life, finding ways on how they can, even for a brief moment, feel they are better is almost a matter of survival. Since they don't have the resources to climb up, the only option is to pull others down. Unfortunately, you can't make someone unsmart, so they just shame them for being one. In return, it becomes almost a boost for the poor and the oppressed. It's a battle cry, a rare moment of victory, that they can have anytime. All they need to do is shame someone for being so privileged, aka smart. This is just a theory, but still connected. I feel like there is a belief that education can lead to somebody becoming smart, and being smart can lead to wealth. And since in many Asian countries, there are still a lot of places with no access to decent education, they don't even have access to basic needs like food and shelter and water. So they feel like they are poor because they are dumb, and they are dumb because they don't have access to education, and they don't have access to education because they are not privileged. Good old-fashioned crab mentality. I thought this is specific to the Philippines, a despicable trait of many Filipinos. Crab mentality, the habit of pulling down people instead of supporting them to go up. They said it was a colonial influence when the Spaniards colonized us for 300 years. Many Filipinos, to earn the favor of Spaniards or get themselves out of trouble, told on other Filipinos who were planning to revolt or violating any other legal or social rules that the Spaniards put in place. However, it seems it's more an international trait. It just comes by different names. Author Piyush Mishra talked about how the pressure of children to do well is the source of crab mentality in India. Many children are unable to keep up or reach the top, so they pull others down. It's also present in other countries where competition among children is high, like South Korea and China. What surprised me is that it's even prevalent in the UK. There is apparently an expression to cut off your nose to spite your face, which means in an effort to pull others down, you also harm yourself. If there is any British out there, let me know if this is true. The downfall of wisdom and the rise of feelings. While being smart used to be downplayed at best and ridiculed at worst, it seems it has been rendered completely useless nowadays. Feelings are more important than facts. Nowadays, it doesn't matter if you are saying something that is supported by science or data. If it offends other people, you aren't supposed to say it. It doesn't matter if you aren't passing your math and science tests. It's all about how you feel about yourself and how you make others feel. Some schools have instituted rules that students will not be recognized for academic excellence. Instead, everyone will be equally recognized for trying. It sounds utopian, and oddly enough, dystopian at the same time, because the truth is that there are some things where being smart and competent actually matter. If I need to have surgery, for example, I better be damn sure that the doctor is holding the knife, the anesthesiologist about to make my whole body numb, and every nurse in the operating room are the smartest and the most competent in the world. I don't care about anyone's feelings. I want the most competent and the smartest. But how can I be sure if students are getting passing grades because of their effort and not their abilities? Offering the wrong solution to a non-existent problem. How to Win Friends and Influence People is one of the first books I've ever read, and I still recommend it to people to this day. That book reveals that the biggest key that will help you win friends and influence people is the understanding that people want to feel recognized and important, and the willingness and ability to make people feel recognized and important. If you learn how to make people feel that, you can make them do whatever they want, and you will be as popular as you want. Social media has made that easier. It makes it easier for people to feel recognized and important. All they have to do is say something that is popular, not necessarily factual, and they can create a fandom of their own. Relatable. That's one of the most used, abused, and misused words in marketing. Products or brands need to be relatable to be likable first. Being a good product is secondary. People have figured out that their personal brand should follow the same rule. They just need to say or do something relatable and likable, not necessarily productive or factual. But those quests are centered on popularity, not progress. The truth is that the only way for us to move forward as a society and equal the playing field economically, socially, and politically is if we all nurture the understanding and growth of science and technology. This is not to say feelings are not important, of course it is, but it has its place. Certainly not when we are making decisions that could affect the safety and mortality of everyone. I personally have been told that I need to dumb it down. There was this one well-meaning person who wrote me a letter saying that the reason my channel isn't growing as fast is that I'm not giving the viewers what they want. Basically, viewers in YouTube just really want YouTubers to say what they want to hear, and that no one really cares about my critical analysis of music videos, TV shows, movies, or whatever. And this person really meant well, and I was more than glad and flattered and of course grateful that she actually went out of her way to give me an advice and for her to share what she thinks. And she's also right. I do know that if I would just do what many other YouTube channels are doing, and that is just to gush and applaud every music video or music that comes out, I would probably be hitting 100,000 subscribers or 200 or 500 or whatever. But I also love critical thinking. My goal and dream has always been to become the dumbest person in the room. I love learning, and that's one aspect of my personality I'm so proud of. I know what I don't know, and I know that there's a lot of things I can learn from other people. So I love that I've found this community where people are very generous of what they know. That you guys love sharing, but you do so very, very respectfully. You are not scared to speak your mind, but you're conscious of how you say it. And if I just give in to popularity, then I will become exactly what I don't want to become, and that is to be dumb. I don't want to be dumb. Which leads me to my question. Have you ever been smart shamed? That's one. Second is that, do you think we as a community has been so obsessed with being agreeable, being popular, being perceived to be aware or mature or compassionate, that we actually are not just scared of saying what is in our mind, but we're also scared of learning and discovering things that may oppose what is popular or may oppose what we initially thought to be right. So do you think that this obsession with likes and followers is actually leading us to become a dumber society that is all about popularity and not about progress anymore? I would love to hear your thoughts. Please leave them in the comment section below. As you know, you can say whatever it is that you want to say, for as long as you do it respectfully. Always support your claims. And you can get in touch with me in any of the social media links that you see on your screen right now. And if you end up liking this video, or if you want me to pursue more topics that are similar, let me know. Of course, as I've said, if you ended up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe and hit that notification button so that you know when there's a new video coming out. And share it if you can, because that's really helping my channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Till next time.